Recently, I had some seat time in what was supposedly the last Dodge Viper SRT10. It's got its share of quirks, probably more than the competition does, but they don't take away from its primary mission, jaw-dropping performance. This is the last time I'm ever going to get a chance to test drive a brand new Dodge Viper. That's because the car's gone out of production. You know, it's been a couple of years since I've been in one of these things. I forgot just how crude it is. There's no traction control, there's no stability control. They just wanted this to be the most basic kind of sports car there is. It's pretty crude on the inside too. Come on, I'll show you what I'm talking about. The first thing that you'll notice when you get in this car is, boy, it's cramped. I'm not a big guy either. You really got to squeeze into this. You'll also notice that you're offset, you physically are offset to the left of the steering wheel. The footwell's very cramped, and even though there's a dead pedal down here, it's awkward to use. Another strange thing, you get a key, which you have to stick in the ignition and turn, but once you do, then you've got to actually push a button to start up the engine. Kind of weird that you need to do both there. Well, as long as we've got the engine running here, let's take this thing out on the road. I'll show you what it can do. One of the things I hate about this car is when you get going, if you shift out of first, it pulls it immediately into fourth gear and the engine just bogs down. The reason they do that is the EPA will give you a few more counts on your fuel economy if it yanks right into fourth. But if you accelerate to about 1500 RPM, then you can pull it into second like you normally would. Because this is a V10 and it's got side exhausts on either side of the car, the exhaust note really doesn't sound all that good, unless you're into the sound of, say, a 1926 Fordson tractor. That's what this thing sounds like. I just don't like the exhaust note. Of course, when you open it up, you get a lot of power coming out of it, and that makes it sound a little bit better, but overall, I don't like the exhaust note on a V10 engine. Of course, despite all the crudeness, all the idiosyncrasies of this car, what forgives everything is how it goes. So yeah, this car really gets it. And yes, it is a very crude car, but just look at this thing. It's a gorgeous piece of machinery. I love the front end, especially this hood scoop, very functional of course. And these vents on the top of the hood too, just add a lot of raw appeal. The way they've got the fender vents also slotted, the sweep back into the car, the side exhaust. This car is just a rolling piece of sculpture. And you know, even though it's gone out of production, don't count this thing out just yet. I've talked with Ralph Gilles, the president of Dodge. His goal, he tells me, is to bring out a new Viper in just a couple of years. That thing's 8.4-liter V10 engine kicks out 600 horsepower and 560 pound-feet of torque. With a curb weight right around 3,400 pounds, it has a power-to-weight ratio of just 5.7 pounds per horsepower. And that makes it a supercar. And Chrysler just showed the redesigned version of the 2012 Viper to its dealers. I can't wait to see what it looks like and what it's like to drive it.